Yeah. As soon as I print off your emails and all the sheets, I take them to the staff because I find that they need as long as possible to all sit down together and do it. So on one day they might do one section, on the next day they'll do the next section. So they've got the most amount of time to fill out those forms to the best of their ability. I don't want a staff member just to sit there and just fill it out and just hand it back. They need to know that it's important, and it helps. Like it creates a better centre. It creates a better environment for children and families.
How does it create this better centre and better environment?
Because you're reflecting on, you know, how children are communicating, how are we communicating. You're learning all your regulations and legislations. You're learning everything in a fun way. The cartoons about the assessor at the back, we all have a giggle and go, well, that's true. You know, if an assessor does ask this, we can say this because we have learnt this, we are knowledgeable, we are professionals. So I then get all those forms back maybe on a Thursday, and Thursday I go through and I highlight areas that need to be changed. Medication was a big thing that we needed to look at, where we stored that. All of the audits that we went through, we need to make sure that, you know, all our safety latches and, you know, plugs and cords and the things that you see but don't really do anything about until you have those forms, because you have to write yes or no. There's no, maybe it's, you know, have you got a cord hanging out? Yes, we do. Okay, that's something that we need to fix straight away. It's very clear, and it's something that we need. Like, we need to know all of those things at our centre. We need to know if we're doing things right or they need to be changed.
And what about the interactions between educators and children? How are the forms assisted with that?
Yeah, all of the staff now sit down with children. I think from the first part of the DVD and things that we watched, we found that we needed to learn about children by sitting down with children. And just the professional ways that we talk to children now have changed. Our manner, and a lot of things have changed.
And what's the benefit from the change?
Children are learning. Children are excited. There's no behaviour problems. There's no timeouts. There's none of those things. Children are engaged. They're happy. They're excited. They're happy to have an educator sitting with them and talking, and yeah, it's...
So you're saying the relationships are key?
Definitely relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And the love and care for children. I think that they were scared that we used to have to stand up and just supervise children, that we weren't acknowledged as professional educators. Knowing that those children are here to learn from us is amazing. It's when children walk in with the slug that they found outside, or another child come in with tadpoles, you know, like, it's amazing how the little things in the environment mean so much to children. Instead of us going, oh, that's great, we now go, well, what can we learn from that? What does this child know? What can we teach them, and what can we show them we can do with this? So it's not how many, you know, wonderful resources we have in the room, it's what children bring in every day, you know. So yes, we had tadpoles in our room for a couple of weeks and watched them grow and things like that. But the children learnt so much from that. Life cycles, the environment, and things like that. It's not just, you know...
What about the cycle? Because that was a funny one. Like,
yeah, so with the chickens that arrived this week, we talked about the life cycle of the chicken and how it comes out of the egg, and we've got to take very good care of the chicken and things like that. And then we talked about all the other things that have life cycles. And Harry put up his hand and he said, yes, I know something that has a cycle. Recycling has a cycle, like this. So yeah, children are learning when they're interested in learning. So when they do bring in a plastic bag, with toys in it. We do recycle that plastic bag, and we do talk about when we go to the beach, do we leave that plastic bag behind? No, we don't. We pick it up and we put it in the bin because we've got to look after our environment and things like that. So yeah, children are learning with simple things that mean so much to them.
Yeah.
We have a lot of community people come into the centre. So we do have like Gold Coast Dogs come in and SeaWorld come in and Fire Department and the police and things like that, and they come and talk to children about the environment and how to look after our environment. The main thing that we've been talking about is recycling, looking after all the sea animals and things like that.